And this year will likely be unpredictable, too, with promises of big surprises. President Trump is expected to make an appearance every night, though we don't know how much he will participate. We do know he has already blasted Democrats for pre-taping some of its segments and speeches, and he has stressed that live performances are way more effective. Tony?
They're definitely way more fun. I think the only safe prediction is it will be unpredictable. Weisha, thank you very much. You're right on that point. Our primetime coverage.
Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden says Americans will not allow the president not to accept the results of the November election. His first TV interview alongside his running mate, Senator Kamala Harris, aired on ABC last night. The latest CBS News poll finds last week's virtual Democratic convention increased the number of voters excited about supporting Biden rather than voting against the president. Ed O'Keefe is covering Campaign 2020.
After an unprecedented Democratic National Convention, Joe Biden spent the weekend at his Delaware beach home. He isn't expected to make many public appearances as the Republican National Convention is held this week. But in his first joint television interview with running mate Senator Kamala Harris, Biden defended his mostly virtual campaign schedule, saying it's a strategy that will work.
We've been able to travel places when we've been able to do it in a way that we don't cause the congregation of large numbers of people. Look what happens, what's happened with his events. People die. People get together. They don't wear masks. They end up getting COVID. They end up dying.
Biden was also asked about some of his controversial comments, specifically about race.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black. I shouldn't have said that, but I was trying to make the point that this is a man who spent his entire career denigrating African Americans. But the truth is, there's a fundamental difference between Donald Trump and me on the issue of race across the board. I'm not gonna try to divide people.
Harris, who's criticized Biden's stance on racial issues in the past, said she knows where his heart is.
When Joe and I talked about the state of Black America, he has a deep sense of awareness and knowledge about racial disparities, inequities, and systematic racism.
In that interview, Biden also didn't rule out running for a second term. That's notable because if he wins in November, he'd be 77, the oldest person ever elected president. And he's never gone quite as far in suggesting he'd be up for it again in 2024. One other note, this morning the Biden campaign says 27 former GOP lawmakers are now endorsing the former vice president's campaign. They include former Senator Jeff Flake of Arizona and former Senator John Warner.